Hi guys, welcome to Waste Less Westbrook. Today, condiments. I bet you have a bunch of random condiments lurking in your fridge right now. So let's change that, shall we? I want to share with you 4 recipes for 4 super simple, super easy condiments made almost entirely from food waste.
Tell him he's dreaming.
These condiments are inexpensive, super delicious, super tasty, and they're a great staple in my household. I make them almost every week, and I guarantee that you'll want to do the same. Let's get into it, shall we? We're starting today's journey with a humble kale stalk. I'm sure many of you just throw these out, but today I'm going to turn them into a delicious pesto. Start by roughly chopping your stalks into 3cm lengths, but honestly, size doesn't matter. The bigger they are, the longer they're going to take to cook. My stalks took about 15 minutes, but they can take up to 20. While the stalks are cooking, I'm going to pick some basil. I'm only going to be using roughly half of this bunch, but I'm going to be blanching all of the stems with the kale Just stalk. Into the same pot is fine. I did this in the last 3 minutes of the cooking time of the kale stalks. Then we'll be toasting some lovely pine nuts in a pan until they're golden. Please don't skip this step because we're bringing out all the natural oils from the pine nuts and adding an additional roasted flavor to the pesto. Place your blanched stalks and about 1/4 of the basil into your food processor with 1 tablespoon of nutritional yeast, the zest and juice of 1 lemon, and roughly 80 ml of olive oil, as well as some salt and pepper, and obviously don't forget 3 cloves of garlic. Then it's Waz time. Once the pesto has come together, I'm adding toasted pine nuts and mixing for a further 30 to 40 seconds. You still want to have some crunchy texture, so don't overblend the nuts. Into a jar or any airtight container will work, and that's our first condiment down, a delicious kale pesto. Next up, vegan aioli, made from a secret ingredient, aquafaba. If you don't know what aquafaba is, it's a briny liquid left over from tinned chickpeas. It can act as an egg replacement in a lot of recipes. Then it's literally business as usual. Garlic, mustard, and some of my homemade vinegar. The blender's going to do all the heavy lifting in this recipe. Blend on high for 1 minute, and then you can slowly start adding your oil. You'll see it start to thicken once you've added about 1 cup of oil. Then I'm going to season it. Add the juice of about half a lemon. And totally optional, you can add a little bit of water if it's a bit too thick. Then another quick blend to bring it all together. And honestly, that's it. It's so fast and simple. Whack that into another jar and make sure you get it all over your fingers before putting a lid and label on. Okay, I confess, this one isn't really a condiment, but stick with me for this one. I'm making a dukkah from leftover pumpkin seeds, which I usually store in the freezer until I'm ready to use them. To the pumpkin seeds, I'm going to also be toasting some pistachios and some sesame seeds into the oven at 160 degrees for about 20 to 30 minutes. For the spices, I'm using cumin seeds, coriander seeds, caraway seeds, and fennel seeds. Then just giving it a light toast in a pan over medium heat. Once the spices start popping and changing color, then you've unlocked Flavor Town.
Great spice.
Then we're going from Flavor Town to Pound Town, and I'm going to give these spices a good hard pounding. Into the food processor, the toasted seasoned nuts go. I swear washing my jug is getting super exhausting. And we're going to be adding all of our lovely toasted and ground spices. Then we're going to give everything a gentle pulse for about 2 to 3 minutes until we get Dukkah-like consistency. I like mine with a little bit of texture so you can see all the different nuts and spices. Finally, we're back on the condiment train again. And this one I'm really excited about. This is my fermented pineapple hot sauce. If you've ever made tapatio before, the process is super similar. Into a glass jar, I'm putting pineapple skins, chili seeds, and brown sugar. The chili seeds I got from my workplace, but if you don't have chili seeds, you can replace them with 1 habanero chili. That gets filled with filtered water and then covered with a reusable cloth, and that goes into the pantry for 3 days to ferment. Alright, so let's start building layers of flavor now. I'm going to be cutting 1 onion, 1 red capsicum, and this is mainly just for color. Then, totally optional, I'm going to be slicing an additional chili. It's best to probably taste your fermented base first before you add any additional spice. And this is all going into a medium pot with some sliced garlic, which I've had a habit of forgetting lately. Once everything begins to soften, I'm going to add some salt and then half a tablespoon of cumin. Then I'm going to go in with half a cup of caster sugar and half a cup of my homemade apple cider vinegar. Then we'll be adding the strained out fermented pineapple liquid from earlier and simmering that for about 20 to 30 minutes. After we're done simmering, we're going to just blend it until it's smooth. You kind of want a nice chili sauce consistency, not too thick, but not too thin either. Little cheeky chef taste. Even though it's super spicy, you still get a nice sourness coming through from the fermented element of the sauce. Then I'm just going to pop it into some nice glass bottles, making sure I overfill them every time. If you listen closely, you can even hear the cameraman ridiculing me of my failures. And that's it, that's the end of our condiment crusade. All 4 of these are ready to enhance any meal you use them on. There you have it, guys. 4 super simple condiments made almost entirely from food waste. You didn't think it'd be that easy, did you? Leave a like on the video and subscribe for more plastic-free and waste-free cooking. Also, guys, let me know in the comments what food waste you throw out. And as always, cook more, waste less.